Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car. I'm with my BFF Keon.
That's me.
How was your week, Keon?
I'm that man. It was a good week. That's
nice and quiet too, right?
Was it quiet?
I feel like it was quiet this week.
It was kind of loud online, but I think you're right. It was quiet
For me.
Well, relative to last week, because we had the South by Southwest and
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Did you go out? Did you wear green? Go out on St. Patrick's Day?
Wore a lot of green that day.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah,
hanging out with the locals. You know, saying hello to familia and community. Keeping it local, Keon. Keeping it local.
You keep it local. You sure
I keep
do.
it local. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a man of the people, Keon.
Did you hang out with any Irish people?
Yeah, actually I did.
Rub them for good luck and stuff?
Actually, a lot of people I hang out with are Irish, surprisingly.
A lot of people are Irish. I'm Irish.
Are you really?
Yeah, I didn't know that I was Irish.
I didn't know that.
I'm part Irish.
Wow.
My white part is
Nice.
part Irish.
Well, congratulations on that.
It explains some of my tendencies.
What have, other than that, what have you been building this week?
What have I been building? I've been reading.
Did EK do anything this week?
Oh, EK, yeah, we'll talk about some of the stuff he's doing, but he's working on wallets. I'm working on redoing navigation, so we'll have like a new nav bar. You know, not super different, but also like a dedicated mobile navigation experience. Cool. You know, with like stuff at the bottom and
nice
rather than all at the top, one size fits all. So that's what I've been working on. We didn't do demo Fridays. We're not doing that today, are we?
No.
Okay.
We're not doing that. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
It's been a week. Me and Logan are tired.
Oh, I imagine. Do you guys need a break?
Just need like a week off, maybe two.
For sure. But come back stronger than ever.
I've been doing a lot of stuff. He's edited all the videos for Startup Day, and now it's just on me to like post them, and you know, you have to like do a whole process, roll out, and just a bunch of deliverables.
Yeah, you've been doing the post production.
Yeah, which is the stuff that you really like should spend the most time on carefully, because like once that's out there, it lives forever. And so the last thing you want to do is run through it just to get over with. Like you don't want to do that. You want to be, you know, careful about how you roll that stuff out.
Careful with your back catalog.
Yeah,
just like the Beatles, they sold it to Michael Jackson. The world big mistake.
There you go. The world is moving to a content first world, so get some good content out there. With this, if you've never seen the show before, my name's Car. This is Keon. Cover the top 5 stories on Stacker News. If you don't know what Stacker News is, it's the front page of Bitcoin. I like going to that site. We're doing Million Sat Madness right now, or Million Month Mad, or Million Sat.
It's Million Sat Madness.
Okay, I thought I had MSM for short. But if you don't know what that is and you're curious and you're like, Million Sat, what's that, Car? Well, go to stacker.news and sign up. You know, even your grandma could do it.
Yeah, I think the total right now is like 4.3 million sats. For
wow. That's amazing. More than the Texas Lotto. There you go.
What? I think that's fake news.
Look it up.
Well, they're giving 0 sats away.
Go look it up and check it out on Stacker News, and then you'll see if Car was delivering fake news. But we're going to cover these top 5 stories, and after that, we're going to get into covering Keon stuff and some meta stuff. And stick around. You might find it useful. We're open bunch here. Sometimes we cover stories I don't even want to cover. Sometimes it's just like things I'm just find completely boring, but that's what I do for the stackers, Keon. Wow. Just cover what they vote for.
Saint. I mean, I think someone's already carving a statue of Car for
the only statue we have in Austin is Willie Nelson. We should keep it that way.
You'll be standing right next to him.
No.
Immortalized in stone.
No.
Okay.
All right, we're going to get into the first top story of the week. It's Bisq 2 has just been released. I am a Bisq contributor AMA about Bisq or Bisq 2. This is from Solomon 1923, March 17th AMA post. 40 comments, 16,700 sats. Is this the first post?
This is the first post. I mean, we normally put AMAs.
I know. That's why I was like confused for a second.
But I think this was like an unprompted AMA. I think as part of the release, Solomon decided to do an AMA. So it's like both an announcement and an AMA. Anyway.
Look, the green doesn't show up on the thing.
Oh.
That's a feature of Stacker News. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, Stacker News Live. It's a Stacker News Live.
If I could go through it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not sure. Anyway, if you're not familiar with Bisq, it's like a decentralized exchange, more or less. It connects you with buyers and sellers, and if you're a seller or you're a buyer, and it's the protocol. It's been operating, I think, since 2016 or so. And for
they usually have a booth at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, they're a very well-known product in the space, and it's a great way to sell or buy no KYC sats. This post is about them recently releasing Bisq 2, so the second version of the protocol, and all of their plans for it as well. The big thing that it shipped with this go around was what they call Bisq Easy, which doesn't require you put up a bond as either a seller or a buyer, which Bisq 1 had you do, and instead uses a reputation-based system for sellers. And so if a seller has a reputation over a certain threshold, they can now use Bisq Easy without putting up a bond and sell to fresh buyers who have a much easier experience because they don't have this bond. They can just get started. Anyway, Bisq 1 was notoriously somewhat complicated to use, especially for a new Bitcoin user. But I think they've iterated in Bisq 2 to a point where it's a lot more user-friendly. And hopefully we can get more people doing this kind of peer-to-peer trading stuff with Bisq 2. And they have a bunch of plans like Lightning, buying or selling Bitcoin delivered via Lightning, submarine swaps, I think a number of other things too. Bisq 1 will continue running for multi-sig Bisq trades, but eventually that'll get ported to Bisq 2, and then Bisq 1 will only continue for some of like their DAO stuff.
Yeah. Super did a workshop on Pleb Lab on our YouTube channel, so go check that out. It's on Bisq 1, but maybe when he gets back, we can do a workshop on Bisq 2.
Is he ever coming back?
Did Batman ever come back at the part 3?
Came back as a
Dark
different
Knight?
human being. That's what I'm afraid of.
I mean,
A different actor every time.
It's very possible.
Is
I
he
hope
gonna,
not.
It's going to come back as Christian Bale, or are we going to get Val Kilmer?
I just hope we get the Dark Knight version of Super, like the middle movie, not the third one.
I
That
see.
makes sense, yeah.
I don't know the numbers, but I
The
believe
Dark Knight
you're making the right
Returns,
choice.
or no, Dark Knight Rises. Not that one, because that guy was just like old and decrepit, basically. I mean, there's a turning point.
Neo in Matrix 4. Like Neo.
Yeah,
in
we don't
Matrix
want that one.
No, why
No,
not?
we don't want that one.
I like the old Keanu.
I miss the old card too. Anyways. Yeah, check it out, Stackers. We got the top comment from Tony Giorgio. He says, congrats. For more advanced power users, what advantages are there for Bisq 2? Is it interoperable with Bisq 1? Why should I switch if I'm still quite happy with Bisq and have a very long and reputable profile? Solomon says, thanks for the question. Here's a list of the main differences that come to mind with Bisq 1 and Bisq 2. Bisq Easy. Easy Bake Bisq. There you go. Take a look at it, Stackers. Next comment was from David W. Says, can you talk about some of the user research that went into pivoting the product? Basically, he puts it in parentheses, from a niche tool for technically minded people to a tool for newbie normies. And then Solomon chimes in, thanks for the question. I would not describe Bisq 2 as being a pivot, as the original Bisq 1 trade protocol will continue to exist. I would describe Bisq Easy as being an additional trade protocol that might be suitable to some users. What do you think about that, Keon? Do you think there's a need to, I hate using the word pivot too, but do you think there's a need to make things a little bit easier?
Oh, yeah. You should always be making things easier for people. Even if you're developing a technical product, I have like a saying that's like, tech people are normies, but normies aren't tech people. So like technical people, they love all of the things that normal people love in a product. They like it to be easy to use. They like it to look nice. They like it to make them feel good when they use it. But normal people, normal users aren't like technical users. They will not use a very hard to use product. But so you can address both markets by making your product easier, or suit it to more non-technical people. Doesn't mean it's like not suited to technical people anymore. Instead you're just growing your market share, addressable market.
The funny thing is all this stuff that's circled and arrows, it's all in green. It's just in
yeah, it should be green, so. And some of that should be white. If you see like the tan is the green part.
Use your imagination, stackers. If you're listening to this on the pod, you have no idea what we're talking about.
It's a creative exercise.
Cool. That was a good top story. And then, yeah, it looks like Jack Koya also shared the GitHub. So definitely peep that. There's a GitHub.
Yep. You can download it and install it yourself from source.
Yeah. Windows, Linux, and Mac OS.
That's all of them, I think.
Pretty cool. The second top story is I'm losing my faith, too. This is BTC Remnant, March 17th, 138 comments, 10,300 sats. This is a Bitcoin post. Keon, what's this?
Yeah, this is, so BTC Remnant wrote one of the most popular posts on Sacker News. I don't know, it feels like 6 months ago, saying they were losing their faith in Bitcoin, mostly talking, I think, about the social aspects of Bitcoin. And similarly in this post, they're continuing to talk about the social aspects of Bitcoin and a number of gripes they have with it. You know, who the influences are in Bitcoin, the figureheads, the narratives that are being propagated, the some of the products that are being promoted and, you know, seemingly accepted. Those are like the issues that he has, and he feels like really it's, in general, I would say over both posts, it's like Bitcoin is losing its cypherpunk ethos a little bit, and that's.
Are these people that he's calling out right here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he calls out Adam Back, he calls out Saylor, he calls out ordinals and inscriptions as like a technical category. He calls out Bukele, anyone promoting the ETF. You know, specifically the Adam Back part here is how many people are like, I don't know, fanboying MicroStrategy stock and Michael Saylor, people fanboying Michael Saylor at the Madeira Bitcoin Atlantis conference, the ETFs, promoting the ETFs and seemingly like at least neutral on them. Those are kind of the issues that he's taking.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know, what do you call that? Just like a clock that doesn't stop alarming. So this is the stuff that I've been saying for it's going on a year at this point. I'll say it again for people that haven't been listening. Post Bitcoin ETF, totally different Bitcoin. It's just all going custodial. Get used to it. That's what I would say about that. I would say stay away from using names. You don't need to use names. Just use the demographic. I think everybody knows who you're talking about when you just use demographics. Third thing I would say is just, instead of just criticizing, try to show an alternative path. And maybe that's just you leading the way in that and whatever you want to do. And then the fourth thing I would say is you're not wrong on any of this stuff. But this is what happens when we get a Bitcoin ETF. Like, everything's changed. And so we're just in a new, even the people who are the chartists are even saying that. Like, oh, Bitcoin's never done this thing where, and it's just like, of course, like we're totally in a different area as far as like Bitcoin. But I think at the end of the day, the core stuff is still the same. Hold your own keys. Don't trust. Verify. And stay humble, because we're going to 10 million per coin. So,
well, that's something he takes an issue with in particular, is predictions like that.
It's true, though.
Is it?
Yes, it's true.
I don't know, because that's what. So at least BTC.
We'll forget the last part, but everything else is going in there.
BTC, like one of the big things that BTC Remnant takes issue with is Adam Back making predictions like that, and he's such a notable figure, like one of the few public figures who was actually named in the white paper. And he's saying things like $10 million, something like that, $10 million BTC price by 2036.
But he was one of the founding. If there's there's like a mountain of founding fathers of Bitcoin. Wouldn't he be on the Mount Rushmore of founding fathers? Or am I just completely wrong?
He is. But if he's making if he makes a mistake in a price prediction like that, he could be leading people to financial ruin.
I mean, I think the alternative path is you don't get Bitcoin and then you lead yourself to financial ruin, or the other alternative path is you get Bitcoin and you just keep stacking. I mean, there's two paths there. I don't know.
I mean, no, I don't think you should be getting Bitcoin in anticipation of it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
landmark of
I'm
price, right?
I'm pushing for us being able to spend our Bitcoin one day, like the Neo meme.
Yeah. So I think that's what BTC Remnant is saying, is that Bitcoin is something other than its price, and like projecting price, promising price nearly, is doing a disservice to anyone who might be interested in holding Bitcoin for other reasons, in addition to attracting people to Bitcoin.
I think the price attracts people in. I mean, it attracted me in initially, right? Like it attracts everybody in, and then eventually you just learn and you find your way. So,
but I'm not sure that necessarily happens anymore. That's one of my fears with the ETF is people will be attracted to the Bitcoin price, but the easiest path to them acquiring it is now through their Vanguard account or something, or whatever platform, their E-Trade.
That's why I was saying, man, this is not a good thing that the ETF, but it's just over. It's done with though. It's like ordinals, right? It's like it's done. But nothing you can do about it.
Everyone pre-ETF, we all had to understand Bitcoin to actually appreciate. I don't think people will have to do that anymore.
You just got to understand nuts. That's it.
My fear is that it's potentially like quite bad for Bitcoin, the ETF, because it's not actually minting new Bitcoiners. It's minting new people who are exposed to Bitcoin's price, and it will require like some kind of disaster in the ETFs to actually turn all of those people into Bitcoiners. But
I would say BTC Remnant, just realize you, me, and there's like a small segment of us. We're just not going to exist anymore. There's going to be fewer and fewer of us left that are just.
You'll exist as a statue next to Willie.
No, I'm just saying this is where everything's going. Like you can't. There's no use fighting it. You're better off just shutting up now and letting it happen. That's what I've come to realize. But no one cares.
All the fun, the fun is in the revolution part.
That's why I got into it, baby.
I know. So I think we still have to have that part of things. Like, you know, when like the internet went fiat and it stopped being like this cool underground thing. But that was inevitable too.
Like all those influencers in the tech space got taken over by all the big media companies. Remember that in the early 2000s?
I mean, I remember a lot of change in the internet stuff, but there's still a core, you know, like Richard Stallman. There's still a bunch of people who are very, you know, maybe Richard Stallman isn't a great example, but there are a lot of people who are still very into that initial spark.
But this is where I think it's going to happen. Is like people are going to start taking price predictions from like Kim Kardashian and Drake. You know what I mean? Like this is where we're headed. Like. You're upset with Michael Saylor. Get ready for Kim Kardashian.
I want to see a rainbow chart from Drake. I want to see it.
It's going to happen.
Drake's
chart. And they're going to think Drake's a genius. You know, like he is. Just I don't know if he's a trading genius.
Ooh, like a new hit single, Bitcoin Rainbow Chart by Drake.
Yeah, I wouldn't say don't lose your faith, man. Like Bitcoin's still Bitcoin. I would just say like we're post Bitcoin ETF, everything changes. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. It's life. That's life, Keon.
Change is life. Life is change.
I never thought the ETF was coming, to be honest.
I thought it would never happen.
Neither did I. So,
but hey, the courts, they worked.
The courts made it happen. This is his previous post. I'm losing faith. BTC Remnant. Oh, so he did this last year at the same time. Yeah. So he's more losing faith on. Sounds like.
Well, just like I think continuing the trend of his loss of faith.
Here you go.
He also has a rant.
Zap him.
Zap. He also has a rant in there about eCash and Liquid. You would appreciate that. There's like a paragraph in it.
I'm not dying on that hill. Somebody else can. I'm not.
Well, he's apparently
moved on.
Looking for it.
Cool. That's a cool post. We need more of this.
Yeah.
More depressing posts like that. The Third top story is Bitcoin is slow. This is from Kepford, 26 comments, 4,547 sats. It's a March 19th Bitcoin post. Keon, why is Bitcoin really slow? It's only 10 minutes, right?
It is. I think it is pretty slow. And like most of the dimensions that you'll analyze Bitcoin on, it's pretty slow. And so what Kepford is saying here is that in an effort to get rid of Bitcoin slowness, there will be, should someone want to do that, there will be trade-offs for doing so. The example he gives is, I guess it's Rich Hickey, who says that one way to make your development process and your code faster and your pipelines faster is to get rid of your tests and don't test your code. And then it'll be faster. And of course, there are like obvious trade-offs associated with that. But he's saying that it's very similar in a protocol development for a money protocol development. You are also making trade-offs. If you try to do things faster, you are likely selling something to gain whatever you are. And that's the whole gist. And so slowness is maybe not exactly a feature. In some ways it might be, but in some other ways it's not. But it's not like we can get rid of the slowness without a cost, probably.
Totally agree. We got Free TX with the top comment. He says, precisely, a pet peeve of mine has always been the Visa analogy against main chain. Visa does process millions of TPS. However, they only batch settle a few times a day. If you're a copy shop, you might not see the money for 48 hours after sale. Visa is more analogous to Lightning. We got Simple Stacker underneath him. Says, easy way to shut them up. Ask how long it takes an ACH transaction to clear. Keffer says, yup. Space Holler.
5 days.
Space Holler says, Bitcoin has a way of punishing those who don't and rewarding those who do. It's been a freedom lover since childhood. And seeing what Bitcoin is doing pleases me in a way nothing else has been able to. It's like justice is finally being done. Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think Bitcoin's really slow? I enjoy the slowness. I used to not like the slowness coming into Bitcoin, but I do appreciate it now.
I mean, I like thoughtful development at the protocol level. I like discussing things thoroughly. I like how in some ways, every proposal is like picked over. The bike shutting sucks, but that's kind of part of the process when something's sitting out there for a long time. It is slow, but I think it's both a feature and a bug. How much of a bug or a feature, I don't know. If it's a significant bug, Bitcoin will, either have to correct or fail. Otherwise, if Bitcoin succeeds, despite it, it might be a feature.
Yeah, I think everybody should run their own node. Definitely do that. Whether you can maintain a Lightning channel and all that kind of stuff, that I don't know about that, but at the very least, just run your own node at home.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Vote with your node.
Vote with your node, not with your nuts.
Wait, who votes with their nuts? What election?
I'm joking around.
Someone win with my nuts.
Hey, I like jokes. Just joking around. The fourth top story is beware of millions of ways to lose your Satoshis mining this bull market. This is from Kaboom Racks Alex, March 15th. Bitcoin post, 59 comments, 7,832 sats. Dude, Alex is on Stacker News now. Or he was before. I guess he was using an M or something. But
possibly.
It's cool seeing him.
Yeah, he's been posting. I think they did an AMA also. Great. So Kaboom Racks sells a variety of mining stuff, and they also resell hardware.
Definitely.
Zap them.
Zap them.
Anyway, he writes to warn you away from possibly starting mining as a result of the bull run FOMO, and consider whether it's the right decision for you. And that's most of what it is. He describes some of the cool stuff that you maybe learn or gain from mining Bitcoin, but then also warns you about how it's mostly unprofitable for the majority of people, given that you're at the whims of your electricity price mostly. And then there's, even if you have low electricity prices, you still have maintenance, and the hardware, while being expensive, is still cheaply made and can fail, and you have to do all kinds of repair and service on it. Anyway, he's just basically saying mining is maybe for the few, not the many.
Do we have a mining territory here?
We had a mining territory at one point.
Dude, Alex, get Kaboom Racks to do a territory. Come on. You guys should totally do a territory.
Go for it.
I'm just saying, I think that's just a perfect thing for y'all. Because
don't do it if you want to make money on it, because they don't make
money.
No,
but I think
that's all I would.
I think Kaboom Racks is a perfect type of company to do a territory where they could be dropping all sorts of knowledge, and they probably make a lot of sales from it, I would imagine. Anyway, just something to think about, Alex. We can talk about it next time we see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Siggy47 with the top comment. It says, great article. I have recently been curious about mining. This article made me reevaluate the whole idea. Boom. Why you need a territory. Looked like a Pokemon.
Is that what they did? Who did that?
It's just
who would do
go,
that?
Pikachu. You do one of these.
Okay.
Anyways, we got Ex-Patriotic. He says, thanks for this. I'm looking into mining via host, and they don't have space till late July. Decided to go with 2 M50s, but yeah, I belabored the economics of this decision. See, there you go. Look how many miners you could be selling on a territory.
I was listening to a podcast recently about where Swan's hundreds of millions of dollars came from. Did you listen to that?
Well, you and Corey are boys, so I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, we were shooting hoops. He told me about this podcast. He said I dunked on him a couple times. He couldn't get me away from the rim.
Freaking Corey from he never calls me, dude. Well, he calls you.
Well, I mean, we talk about you all the time. He has lots of good things to say. He likes you.
Hey, Plum Lab needs a sugar daddy, right? Come on. Make it happen, Corey.
Yeah. But anyway, so as Corey was telling me after I whooped his ass at basketball, he, I guess they've been, where all the money came from, where there was that huge, I don't know, a bit of a beef online.
Yeah.
Earlier, it came from mining. I guess they've gotten into mining.
Oh, really?
After the last cycle.
Oh, wow.
At least
is this confirmed, or is there?
I mean, that's what a CIO said on what Bitcoin did.
Do you think that's why a lot of people are getting up in duress, because they're coming into mining now?
I don't know. I think
it's possible, dude. It's very territorial in this game, bro. We're just small little goldfishes in a crampy ass pond, but one day we won't, Keon. One day we'll be slightly bigger goldfishes.
I'm gonna be a pond guppy or whatever. That's where I'm destined for.
No, I wonder if that's why though. I wonder if that's why all the pushback with them, because you're just straight out there hooping them.
That might be it. I think it was also just, it was confusing. There wasn't any public statements about them mining, and then they're like, we have hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and then it's like, where?
Stackers, go out there, do the homework, put together a document, put out there for the masses, tag everybody associated with that. Let's make it happen.
Send it to Alex Jones.
Oh, Alex Jones. Dude, we'd love to get him in the lab.
Alex Jones needs a Bitcoin podcast. How many people would listen to that?
Alex, reach out. Make it happen. Yeah, that's interesting, Keon. I would love to see somebody do something on that.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get an expose like that. But
is that an expose? I feel like that's just good old fashioned journalism.
Yeah, some good journalism on that. More public knowledge about it, because apparently what they did was they went to a bunch of distressed miners who were going underwater because of the bear market.
It was a terrible bear market.
And then so they acquired machines and rented facilities, and that's what the CIO said. And it's plausible and
juicy stuff, man.
Pretty cool though. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Swan at some point is going to have its own movie or something, where it's just going to be Yeah, just like some kind of, maybe it'll be a Lifetime movie. Who knows?
They've been teasing an IPO for like
Oh,
a few
really?
years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I feel like every few months.
Have you ever actually met Corey or no? Have you ever taken a call with him?
No, all I know is I DM someone at Swan about getting in contact with Corey to invest in Stacker News, and he said Stacker News is not a business. That's what he said.
You're totally right, Corey. Do not invest in that. Do not. It's complete waste of time.
Yeah, but if I were making an exchange or mining, I'd have a business. But apparently,
That's funny.
apparently, things that don't have a historical track record of making money are not businesses.
I mean, you'd be surprised, right?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I mean, there has to be a first of something, but
Hey, I mean, it's
odds
not like,
are.
it's not like Reddit ever existed, you know? Yes. Yeah.
Well, they haven't. They also haven't made money. They're mostly
They're also like,
an ESG.
they also just burn through
data
money
scam
now. Like,
now.
you're really stacking Bitcoin, you know? There's that. Stacking users, stacking Bitcoin.
Anyway,
At the very least.
Anyway, I mean, I think there's actually something viable, but I don't hold it against Corey. It's very hard to like appreciate something weird.
I mean, yeah.
But I thought that's funny, and I hope to prove him wrong, if only for for like the humor of it later. Kind of like I'm going to be Donald Trump winning an election type of deal.
Oh, man. That's the best part about being a builder is like proving people wrong. I don't know. What other satisfaction do you get?
Oh, just making something new.
That's easy.
It's not. I mean, I think that's the hard
Pretty
part.
easy.
there's-
Even making something people like is also easy. I think that real satisfaction is like really proving people wrong.
Oh no, but
No?
that's easy. Proving people wrong.
No,
you
it's
can do that
not.
on the internet, on Twitter. You don't even need to build anything.
It's like him personally saying like it's not a business. That
Oh, it's so good.
it's so good. Stackers, here's another one.
I mean, it isn't. Yeah, it really to this point,
Stackers-
it isn't a business.
Stackers, I want you to do this right now. Like this weekend, put together another expose with why Stacker News isn't a business. Or actually, you already did that. Didn't you do that at a talk at TapCon?
Yeah, I said why you shouldn't use Stacker News. And maybe those are all the points that Corey would have made if he would have made a slide deck.
Man.
I'll ask him next time we're playing hoops.
That's great. Okay, we're gonna get into all the people that invested in you are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, they love it. They know I'm a psychopath like that.
The final top story is starting with Mutiny Wallet. This is a Prism post from Running Bitcoin, March 16th. 22 comments, 14,000 sats, baby boy. What is this, Kia?
Yeah, Ben the Carmen was on Stefan Livera and talked about Mutiny Wallet, and it looks like they enticed a stacker to use Mutiny Wallet and write up their experience on it. And I think it's a pretty great like rundown of Mutiny Wallet. It's like a great, I mean, if I were them, I'd ask if I could put this content on their website, because I think it's a really nice like rundown of like they give you screenshots of what the experience is like. They walk through the process of sending money from Phoenix Wallet to their Mutiny Wallet. You know, all of the kind of UX things you'll encounter when you are setting it up. It really just shows like how great a job they've done on the wallet and onboarding people to it. That an explainer like this I mean, I was reading this and I'm sure a lot of people, you know, maybe other people didn't, but when I was reading it, I was like, and they built this all in a browser. And it's like, you know, I can't imagine anyone else even attempting to do this. So anyway, a great intro to Mutiny Wallet, and kind of, if you haven't used it yet, kind of shows you everything that's there. The contact list, which is, you know, I think pretty novel and inventive.
Yeah, it's very like detailed, very detailed. Really cool.
Yeah.
We got the top comment from XPaytrack says, excellent. Good example of proof of work. I use and love Zeus, but might have to try this.
The forever war between Zeus and Mutiny.
We got David W. says, epic guide, really doing the legwork to show off their sexy UI. Meant to for a while, but just pushed me over the edge to download and drive it at last. Keep running Bitcoin. Really cool stuff. Keo, do you use Mutiny?
I've been wanting to since they launched, but I haven't even set up my home node. I have a node, but it's not even like.
Have you set up Stacker News' node at least?
Bitcoin is running on it, and that's running, but I'm not using my Lightning node that I run at home, and I'm using the same Breeze wallet I've had for like 3 years. I've been intending to use Mutiny. I mean, they figured out the PWA way more so than we have. Maybe that'll be my weekend
project.
Yeah, but you've used it? I remember.
Yeah, I did a couple reviews last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year on it, and had the guys on Thriller and stuff. And I've been using Zeus a lot lately, to be honest. And it's no reason why. It's just no. Zeus works really, really well, but it works with Mutiny. I posted on Nostr a couple weeks ago that Zeus and Mutiny really work well together. It's just that I don't know. I like Zeus.
Okay. Well, I'll be the guy who uses Mutiny in the lab.
There you go.
And
I think everybody else, I do have it on my phone. I have Mutiny on my phone. So
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this weekend.
Do it, Keon.
I'm going to show up. Because I said like, I feel like 6 months ago, I was like, I'm going to switch from Breeze on my phone. I mean, the problem is I just use Stacker News as a custodial wallet all the time.
Ooh, that's not good.
I know. I don't have reason to really use something else. It's not like I don't trust me.
I think for me, the biggest, how do I say reason? It was just convenience because it wasn't on the App Store for a really long time, and then it became on the App Store. So maybe I'll give it another go now that it's on the App Store. I think that's what I was waiting for. Zeus has been on the App Store for a really long time, and Evan's been working on it for multiple years, so it's just like a lot more, more convenient at that time.
Ooh. Dude, you're picking sides here.
I'm not.
You are. I hear you. You say
you're just trying to start some stuff for no reason.
The in between.
Hey! I can use whatever I want. I'm just
which trench are you in, Carl?
There is no trench. Stackers.
I know which trench I'm in.
Stackers, you use whatever you want. If you want to go use Nostr and talk on Habla Español or whatever that thing is called, go do it. Keon doesn't care, right, Keon?
Yes, go.
Hey, man, everybody can use the different things. And honestly, we need more of this stuff anyway. Not enough people are making wallets these days.
Not enough wallets out there?
Not enough.
There are not enough fantastic wallets. I think there are.
Yeah, I think there's really good, like a good 3 or 4 wallets now.
Yes.
Mutiny's one of them.
Yes.
So this is how we win, together.
Oh. Hand in hand.
Yeah, what's wrong with
While punching competitors.
No, there's no.
With the other hand.
We're so early, there's no competitors. If we get to $10 million per coin, is anybody really going to be competing?
There you go again with that price predictions.
Are we really going to care how we got there?
I'm calling it right now, $10,000 per coin.
10,000 or 10 million?
10,000.
Oh, you think we're going down from here?
Yeah, I'm pointing at the bleachers behind me. 10,000.
10,000.
It's going 10
there. 10 million per coin, man. So we're going to get into meta. That was all the top 5 stories of the week. You can get into meta. The first meta is AMA from Stratum V2 SRI team. What was this, Keon?
Oh, yeah. So Stratum V2 had its launch finally. I mean, we've been talking in the protocol Bitcoin developer
for 2 years, right?
Nerd community. This has been a huge subject for a while, for years. I mean, literally, I feel like 5-6 years. Anyway, Stratum V1, which is the protocol we've been using for, basically very early Bitcoin days, has a number of disadvantages. And after, learning all the disadvantages it has and the ways it can be improved, Stratum V2 was proposed. And the big thing we get with Stratum V2 is more censorship resistant mining, so that miners who are participating in a Bitcoin mining pool are not subject to the blocks that the mining pool operators wish them to mine, and instead can choose their own block templates. That's basically the big feature here is that the idea that Bitcoin mining is centralized based on the number of pools and their hash rate. This, should Stratum V2 have more uptake, it really flips the script.
So what blocks are we? So this is via BTC.
Yeah, if you scroll.
At pool.
Yeah, it's
Luxor,
really
at pool via BTC. I guess you are right. It is centralizing.
4 or 5
Foundry
pretty
Foundry,
much dominate it. Nearly 2 of them
Luxor,
have, I think,
F2
a
pool.
super majority.
F2 pool, Poolin.
I think Foundry at one point almost had a
F2
majority.
pool. Yeah, it looks like it's all Foundry. Man. Wow.
Yeah. So this is, this is really only a problem when miners aren't choosing their own block templates. But now Stratum V2 allows you to do that in addition to a number of other things like preventing hash rate stealing and man-in-the-middle attacks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see a workshop or some kind of talk around this.
Yeah.
If they do any.
Yeah, but I think a big day for Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, bigger than the ETF in terms of like.
Well, I love to hear that.
Yeah, in terms of like more fundamental Bitcoin things.
So David W says, what didn't get added to the release that you wish could have had you had more time and resources? Pleb Hash says, I still want to make more improvements to the roles implementations. Right now they are just POCs that demo how the low-level APIs can be used. But I want to eventually put them into a shape where they could be used as a high-level API for custom implementations of roles. Example given, pools, proxies, and JDs. What's JDs?
There might be. It's not Juris Doctor, which is like when you get a law degree, but like it's probably
Jurisdictions? No, not
maybe jurisdictions. Maybe that's like we use a lot of analogies.
We got it. Got it. Says, is it worth it to try it on an S9? Home heaters. What is your recommendation for those plebs? There you go. This is why you need a mining territory. Kaboom Rex. There you go. Answer stuff like this. Pleb Hash says SRI has a translator proxy which takes SV1 hash rate and sends it to SV2 pools. That should allow for older devices like the S9 to still be included in the game. The translator proxy could be deployed by the hosted service or by the pleb miner themselves. Wow. This is awesome. Look at that.
Look at it.
They're making S9s relevant again. Well, I guess they still were relevant, right?
No, sorta. If you have like,
Kinda,
if
sorta.
you have free energy.
Oh.
If you're like cold, if you have cold fusion.
Oh, Code Fusion.
You S9s are okay. Or if you're trying.
Even Denzel Washington likes it. My man.
Denzel Washington likes.
Got Scoresby.
Lots
Scoresby
of
says,
things.
does this mean we can't ask when Stratum V2 anymore? Palvinek says, ha 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 ha. If I got
you had
Satoshi
one
every
extra
time.
ha there. That was your own.
Sometime I was imagining Palvinek's.
Imagining
saying
how
that.
I would actually do it.
I think I've
get
talked to him before. I think I have. Could be wrong.
I just remember. I don't think I've talked to him, but I know his Twitter or his like avatar has him with his arms crossed.
Yeah, that's what I say. I want to say I talked to him one time. I forget what we were talking about. I think we were talking about podcast.
What is that?
I don't know. This was his. He said, I had the most amazing meal and our
Well, that's like
teammates'
butter bread.
family-owned restaurants in Florence last year. And then he shows all this food. I don't know.
Oh,
Are these
wow.
onions? Are these onions right here, bro?
No, those are that's ribbons of butter.
Oh, really? That looks like onions.
No, it's ribbons
Okay,
of
that's
butter.
good. And then what's all this stuff over here? Just whipped cream?
That might be like ricotta.
Oh, interesting. See, this looks like tostadas
Whipped
with like
ricotta.
beans on top.
Yeah, that might even be chocolate. I don't know what else
Oh,
it would
really?
be. I think this might be like sort of a savory, a sweet and
These
savory
are just oranges,
platter.
right?
No, those are more butter ribbons.
I will say, dude, like you whip butter just like with toast. Oh man, it's so good.
Oh,
Yeah, whip butter.
yeah, like good bread. Look at that bread.
Yeah, like really good bread.
Ooh,
Yeah. Anyways, I'm a simple man. Yeah.
you are.
Simple pleasures.
Oh boy. You just
All right.
want to get a horse and race it in the desert. That's what he told me. No, it's a truck. That's right.
The next meta post we have is Zaprite AMA. This is from Zaprite. 88 comments, 19,000 sats. Guillermo, what's this? What is Zaprite? I've never heard of it.
Oh, come on. Didn't they sponsor your newsletter? Thriller.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. See?
This is. Hey,
You got to show them some love still.
I still do,
You still owe them a great debt.
dude. I love John.
I know.
I love that team.
Anyway, Zaprite, which started out as an invoicing platform, a non-custodial invoicing platform, importantly.
Wait, Nick T is in here too?
Yeah, Nick came in and answered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, he usually operates
Zap him.
Zap.
There you go.
He usually operates under a different NIM.
Big fan of Liquid, this guy right here.
He also does he's a fan of Liquid. You might see some more Liquid integrations on Zaprite coming soon.
Okay.
Adam back, reach out, 10 million. But
yeah, we're gonna get canceled so hard, bro.
Oh, I hope.
Dude, you thought Corey didn't like you. Wait till you get Adam back on your bad side. Or on his bad side.
I don't know. He understands.
Does he like you?
I think.
Have you met him before?
I saw him at
Bitcoin Plus, right?
The last Bitcoin Plus.
Yeah.
He was there.
Super said that
I made side eye contact with him.
Wow.
You know, that's how.
Yeah, I never met him.
We had a moment.
I only just remember where I was going down this way and he just walking the other way. He's probably like, who's this? This guy head of security or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of I felt his aura, a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely has an aura.
Because
I didn't even know he was in the room. That I was in the room watching the presenter, and I didn't know he was in the room, but you could feel him in the room.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I think I could feel him in Austin the whole time he was here. I felt him fly out to Zurich or wherever he lives.
Hey, Adam, do an AMA on Stacker News. Come on, do an AMA, Stacker News.
I think he did already.
Did he? No, he hasn't.
Or he came on for the Blockstream AMA.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
You're lying.
No,
he has a Stacker News account.
Yeah.
Oh crap! No way.
Yeah.
Does your search work yet or no?
Probably not.
Where is he?
If you did Blockstream AMA, that might bring him.
That won't bring it up though. It's hard to use the.
Oh, you're in the AMA territory. Get out. This is every time we do this.
Dude, this is why you need to fix this.
I'm fixing this as we speak. This is what I'm working on this week.
Okay.
So one of the
J team. Does he came in the J team one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see. Where is he at? Oh, he is in there.
Yeah.
Whoa! Zap him.
Zap.
Hey, Sackers.
Zap.
Let's just zap him one sat until we annoy the crap out of him.
But he only stacked 1,500 sats.
I know because he's out there saying
which will be worth $3 million according to his price predictions. But
hey, Adam, just come back. Bless us with your presence. Show the stackers the way.
Please.
And buy a Blockstream territory.
He might be operating under a NIM. Who knows?
You think?
I don't know.
Do you think there's prominent Bitcoiners in Stacker News operating underneath the NIM?
I would guess there's at least a couple of them that.
Do you think Jack Dorsey's on here?
He might be.
Do you think Dorsey is Kepford or one of these other guys like Siggy? Siggy is very wise.
I think Siggy has his own.
You think Siggy's a real person?
I think Siggy's his backstory checks out. I think there are some people who I have no idea. They might also all just be Siggy,
We're just talking to Siggy.
Or just thousands.
But I know these people exist, though. I see them in real life, though. Anyway, what was the CMA about, Q?
Oh, it's about Zaprite.
Which we didn't talk about.
Which, apparently is less important than Adam back. But
what do you think about their module approach to payments?
I like it. I think it needs to be, it can get overwhelming. This is something because I love this approach. I love the choice because there are just so many wallets. We were talking earlier about Bitcoin wallets. There are so many of them. I think at some point you get to this number, you really need to help someone walk to the right things that they want to attach rather than just showing them all the options. Mm-hmm. But I love they're the only person who's done this. No one else has even attempted to allow you to connect several different Bitcoin wallets, of which there are many.
Yeah, we saw a lot of we were talking about earlier, he launched the API last week at Startup Day. John did for Zaprite, and then who else launched an API? I think Bisq launched an API last week, right? Strike launched an API, and then who was the other one I saw? Oh, Bitcoin Company launched an API. A lot of APIs being launched right now, so maybe a little leverage all of them. Look, you see who's in there? Swan's in there. Look at that.
Oh, well, I'll have to mention that to Corey next time I'm dunking on him. Just in his face. Okay.
Hey, Corey, you sponsor podcasts. Sponsor this one.
It's getting kind of soft with all that money
And
You want the plebs to like you?
His b-ball game.
Sponsor Stacker News. Let me see. Oh, wow. You can't go wrong with the Matthew McConaughey beat post. Any good questions? Did you see any good questions asked in here?
Completely unbiased here, but where is Bitcoin country? That's what Jimmy Song asked. I think.
Oh, he goes, completely unbiased question here, but where's Bitcoin country? Will Cole said the same place that defeated the Mexicans just 288 years ago. The same place where freedom and property rights are free. Texas, baby. You know what's funny, dude? Will Cole knows a lot about Texas. Like you could just ask him like all sorts of like Texas.
But I don't think
almost like a professor, like because we were taught Texas history in school when you grew up in Texas. Did you get Texas history in California?
Did I? No,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't.
Oh, we got taught.
We
that.
hardly got.
We got that like for 3-4 grades
history.
in a row.
I went to a lot of missions, like California missions. They like
What do they teach you?
the Catholics knew the place to go. They knew the weather was great. They set up a bunch of great missions, and
Oh, wow.
they didn't teach. I don't remember they.
We got Darth Coin with a question. He says, I don't have any specific questions. He says, but I can say that I use Zaprite. Oh, and like it. I also recommend it to those that need something like this. I think it's a good niche for this kind of services in Bitcoinlandia. Good work, guys. Keep going. Oh, wow. That's a big compliment. Grumpiest guy on Stacker News likes your product.
Do you just call Darth grumpy after last week's episode where you were calling out Darth? You're going to call him grumpy now?
Me and Darth, we're drinking buddies. He's on his 7th one. I'm on my 1st one.
Number 1.
He loves it. Are you kidding me? Dude, he's like the most beloved stacker. We'll get into it later, but you'll see his Million Sat Madness. He's like up there.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, Keon.
Another fun fact about Will Cole is around the same time Corey told me Stacker News was not a business, I was applying to work at Unchained.
Really? No way. You're lying.
No.
You applied at Unchained?
I applied to Unchained. I got interviewed by Will Cole.
No way. Did you really?
Yeah.
You're making this up.
He paced around. He was wearing all denim. He paced around in his like attic office.
Getting the nod
which
from
had
Fred
which had like prairie sunlight coming through his attic office. And and then I told him how much I used to make at my last job. And then I never heard from him again. He wouldn't return my emails.
And then now you're neighbors.
We're not neighbors. I don't think he even resides in Texas anymore.
Will Cole.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does. Will Cole. He works at the Commons sometimes.
I mean, I think he flies in. I don't think he lives here anymore.
I see him all the time.
I think he's here. I think he visits frequently, but I think his main residence is not. I don't want to dox him.
You just did.
But I don't think I believe personally. Again, I haven't talked to him because
he just came to the lab like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I mean, there are people who come. There are like people who flew into Japan to come here. That doesn't. No,
but I'm saying you still haven't talked to Will Cole since that.
Oh no, I've said hello to him several times.
But he came to the lab. He's come to the lab multiple times.
I also saw him at a friend's wedding. He was very sharply dressed. Like he dressed like what I imagine Matthew McConaughey dresses like.
This is the most weirdest, strangest story I ever heard. I didn't know you applied at. I'm shocked first that you applied at Unchained Capital.
Well, I wanted a job in Bitcoin. I had no money, and Stacker News was like, just a bit of a toy. And I was like,
when was this? Before I met you or during I met you?
I think during, yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Dang, you're really not going to go with Stacker News all the way, huh?
Well, I just didn't.
It's good thing you met Carr. Hey, you're welcome, Stackers. I just saved him. Wow. Saved him on his path to make Stacker News.
Carr is also responsible for this beard. And he also got me these glasses.
Hey,
literally
you're
anything.
You're welcome.
Literally anything that happened in my life.
So wait, you applied for Unchained Capital during like August of 21, I guess? Because I met you like in June or May, didn't I, at 21?
It was around the time of Stacker News.
So June, July, May?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's wild, dude.
It was either raise money or get a job, and I'd never raised money before.
Wow, it's a good thing you found me, man. Good thing we made Pleb
you had
Lab.
the connections you.
Well, we made Pleb Lab, and then
all the money you gave.
Well, we made Pleb Lab, and then after that, it's history, baby.
Yeah, and I was no part of that. I just showed up.
Now people come to Pleb Lab and they lose jobs now, as opposed to back then. They come to Pleb Lab and raise money. But we've been in a bear market, so things will turn around, Keon. Anyways, that's a long, drawn out story.
Yeah.
I don't got a transition.
You drew it out.
I don't have a transition for this.
Okay.
Anyways, check out Zaprite. It's amazing, according to Darth. And I use it too. But those guys
I use it for design inspiration.
Those guys are my friends, so I'm going to use it.
Anyone who's like contracting and sending people Bitcoin invoices should be using Zaprite, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really easy to use. They don't charge nearly enough. They could be charging like double. The next meta is SN release. This is API. You're releasing an API too? What's going on?
It's no Strike Black, but
Hey,
it's Stacker
it's a start.
News.
It's a start.
Maybe we should get a better name, like Stacker News Yellow.
I don't know. I really liked Stacker Swarm.
Stacker what?
Stacker Swarm. I really like that. Never used it. It was one of the ideas I gave you back in the early days of Plub Lab. And you're like, yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Why wouldn't I listen to you after you're solely responsible for getting me money?
I think because after that, Corey, you talked to Corey and you got really down. You're like, Corey was like, take it out of the deck, Keon. And you took it out of the deck.
I mean, okay. I mean, all I heard was secondhand. Corey's like, that's not a business. So,
Gosh, dude, that sucks, bro.
I think it's kind of
At least
funny.
he gave you a response, right? He could have just ignored you.
Well, he didn't give me a response. He gave someone. He told
Well, at least
someone
that
else to
person gave you a
respond
response.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean,
what's this? What did he? What is EK? What has EK built?
EK has built. He created an API.
Cool.
API key, so people, if they want to create bots,
I think for some reason we were too high.
okay. If you want to create like a bot, like the HN bot, or anything like that, you can do that. The other thing we did
Cascader.
is anyone who is a quitter and has let their territory archive, you can now purchase them and attempt to.
That actually works. You know that you used to tell me that a lot. Whoever's a quitter, like you say that a lot. It actually works. That's a real driving thing. That gets
for some people.
Yeah, I know, and those are the people you want.
Well, for the people who are quitting and don't actually want to quit, actually, would prefer to not quit. Sometimes reminding them what they're doing, it's like all you have to do. It's
See,
like
every week, Stackers, this is what I hear. Like, Card, got to record Stacker News live. You're a quitter. You're not going to do it this week. You're a quitter.
Well, I mean, again,
EK, don't let him get in your head like that, EK.
There are multitudes of car, and some 1 week car is like, this podcast is amazing. My sister listens to it.
She does listen to it.
It's amazing.
And
then the next week, it's like,
Last
only
week
my
was her
sister is
birthday.
listening to it.
Last week was her birthday, Keon.
Happy birthday, Katie.
Oh,
Super dog.
She likes it. She
I'm
likes
gonna
the show.
next time
No one watches
her
this
social
show.
security number.
No one watches this show, Keon. No one watches it. It's getting somewhat more popular, but if anything, it's getting me more in trouble than anything else. That's all it's doing.
Trouble is my middle
It's because
name.
I say spicy shit all the time. I can't help it. I'm a spicy Mexican guy. I like saying spicy stuff. I can't help it.
How spicy do you like it? Are you like if you go to like
Not Carolina Reaper.
okay.
Not that hot.
Are you? But if you get like a choice, like you get like
Maybe like habanero,
mild,
like
medium,
habanero. I think
hot.
is the limit for normal like spiciness. Never go higher than habanero.
But if like on a scale of 1 to 4, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm a waiter, I offer you the options.
Definitely hotter than like Tabasco or jalapeno. Like
So you were hot. You were like a.
I think
three.
habanero is like the perfect spot to be for spicy stuff.
Oh, that's I would say really high,
Is it?
isn't it?
I don't think so.
All right, I'll have to bring
Where's your
some
spice level at?
habaneros. Oh, probably. I'm probably like a mild.
No. No wonder we get along.
Yeah.
So what's this about?
Anyway, there's not a whole lot else. I mean, we increased the minimum boost to 50K sats because people were boosting 25K sats, and it wouldn't get very high on the front page. So we removed the foot gun, and now it's 50K.
Dang.
When you can change in your settings now, so that all the links that you copy aren't necessarily referral links, which some people wanted because they thought it was weird.
Bitcoiners are weird people.
There are a lot of like small bug fixes, but this is a description of what you see when you go to create an API key. And
So will people be able to port this over to Nostr and stuff like that, you think?
The API keys should make it a little easier for you to do like personal content stuff with Nostr, but
Somebody just be able to like...
But you can already read our API, the public, without an account. The API is mostly you want logged in features.
What is this supposed to mean? Nobody gets in, nobody gets out.
There was like a back and forth with Random about you have to request permission to the API keys. Here's our shipping liner. We've taken to
See what you could have invested in, Corey.
This
Look at
is
Look at
us
this.
importing the miners for Swan's Bitcoin mining
Look at this,
operation in the
man.
United States.
That's a big Stacker News logo. That's a lot of paint, Keon.
Well,
You could have been more humble about it.
Well, I mean, it was $5,000 in paint, but look at the results.
It is a straight line of paint, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can imagine how hard that is. Like,
It's really hard. I mean, you literally have to hang from the rafters to paint that.
yeah,
That's at
EK
least-
is doing.
Just to do the S would take
Yeah.
you at least a week. The N's going to take another 2 weeks. And then you got to do it twice. So that's probably that's right there. That's like a 2-month job, Keon.
I mean, all praise to EK. He did it all himself. He figured it
If
out.
no one knows what we're talking about, this is why you should watch the show. Yeah. What is this?
This is now if you're a top stacker in hiding, like if you're in the top rankings, you can now see yourself in the rankings
Oh.
without being exposed
Interesting.
to other people.
Ah,
That's another
I see
thing
what
that
you-
came into this.
Yeah. Pretty cool. We're going to jump into our last story. We're going to see if we can get Mr. Pleb Dev himself. Do you still want to come on? Talk about it? So he had a good post on his dev story, Tori. Did you know that Bitcoin Pleb Dev runs the dev territory?
Did I?
Yeah, did you
Are
know
guys-
that? Here, come around this way.
I
Come
sure did.
Yeah. Do you want to just pull over Uncle Jim's chair?
Yeah.
Keon? Okay. Yeah. So this post is, are devs getting slowly replaced by AI? This is from this guy. 33 comments, 5,035 sats. What is this? Austin.
I'm just trying to get people's thoughts on this subject. It's interesting because I think a lot of Bitcoiners are pretty justifiably dismissive of AI.
Mm-hmm.
At least the grand predictions of AI and how it's, changing everything so fast in 10 years. Like, we're kind of critical of that, and I've traditionally been critical. I used to work at an AI company, but I've been really trying to explore, like, what is the other side of the argument? Like, why is it that people like Sam Altman, people at OpenAI, everyone that's trying to raise money for their AI company, they're basically saying that, like, we're going to be able to replace most devs, most, I guess, knowledge work, information work. And I've been a critic of it, and some of what I've seen lately, this is a video about Devin, is a great example of something that kind of makes me second guess my opinions. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, essentially, like, AI can be something that can actually accelerate your journey into development and help you learn how to code. So it's useful, and it's not that difficult today to be a better developer than ChatGPT,
Right.
at least for the most part.
Right.
And that's kind of been my holdup on why I'm very critical of the idea that, like, they could actually replace a great part of developer work. Is that it's like just the amount of intelligence, the amount of context you need. It just feels like we're so far away. But what Devin is doing is basically, it's being given this full developer environment, and it's able to go through the motions that a developer might go through. And this is Cloud 3, and this is just a better LLM for coding than ChatGPT. I've been playing around with it the past few weeks, and it's pretty impressive.
Do you run it locally on your machine, or how are you doing it?
No, it's another service. You have to pay
Oh, it's
for
another
it.
service. Interesting.
Yeah, so I actually canceled. I've been on the OpenAI subscription. I canceled it to try out Claude 3.
And how is it?
It's for programming. It's better overall. I mean,
Interesting.
it produces more highly accurate output. It can follow conversation chains for longer. But I mean, that's expected. Like, there's going to be slight improvements in these LLMs. But where Devin kind of takes it to the next level is having this fully integrated environment where it's able to run code, it's able to debug itself. And so you basically have, like, right now how a developer might use ChatGPT is they have a project idea. I'm going to build a to-do app. Hey, can you help me build this component, or can you help me with this function that adds to-dos or removes to-dos, right? You'll kind of use ChatGPT to help you and just keep you moving quickly. But you know, that's you're giving input to the LLM versus like Devin is doing all of this in its own environment, right? So you're giving it the task, build a to-do app, and it's going to, you know, build an iteration of that. It's going to see if it works. It's going to look at it. It's going to improve on it. If there's errors, it's going to try again.
Oh, wow.
And you can continue to prompt it as well beyond that. But it's just, it's the feedback loop, I think, that's really powerful here and something that I underestimated in this whole discussion.
Do you think we're moving to a kind of like Bitcoin where you have these different segments of this industry or this ecosystem where it's the hardware, it's the LLMs, it's the consumer applications, it's like all these different types of, you know, like in Bitcoin, it's like the mining, the wallets, the liquidity, the infrastructure, like the apps, like the decentralized protocols, like all these different types of social apps, the podcast, like it's just becoming its own little thing. Do you think AI is already there as far as like it already knows all the different segments of its ecosystem? Or do you think it's all just after? For me, when I look at the AI ecosystem, it all feels kind of clumped up as far as everybody's trying to piggyback off of everybody else, kind of thing. But I don't know if that's necessarily true because I just don't know that ecosystem that well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is like that. Like ChatGPT really changed the game because I worked at a AI company pre-ChatGPT, and it was around the time of GPT-3, and we actually had some GPT-3 models, but this was in 2021. And so this was still the point where we had an in-house like AI team that was developing our own proprietary AI models, right? So we were able to work with our own data sets and kind of our own criteria and build models that were really competitive.
Right.
But ChatGPT changed that. ChatGPT was like one model that's better than all of your proprietary models. That's not universally true, but just for the most part, for natural language processing, for the most part is what it was. So yeah, I
That's
mean,
fascinating.
I think ChatGPT was an iPhone moment. But with all of this to say, like a lot of what we're working on in Bitcoin, Lightning, Nostr, whatever it is, like these LLMs, they help you the least because you're on the cutting edge of technology. It might, like I remember there was a period of like 8 months where ChatGPT did not know what Nostr was. Of course, I mean, it was very new and ChatGPT was very new. ChatGPT's data set was old, but now you can ask ChatGPT all about Nostr and it knows about it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's catching up, but it doesn't know as much as I know. It doesn't know about all of these nuances that, you know, us as like Bitcoin developers or something need to work within every day. But it can help you with some simple code for the most part. So definitely a lot of, I was just kind of throwing this out here.
Like,
you know, some mornings I like wake
Yeah.
up and the first thing I do is I just like write down my thoughts. And so this was one of those. I was surprised that a lot of people commented on it. But one comment I want to point out,
Yeah,
like
which one
I am,
was it?
it's silent. It's near the bottom. It's silent dev or silent something.
Silent. Where is it at?
I like just,
Oh yeah,
Silent Hodler.
He
Okay.
said devs are being slowly replaced. Whoever thinks otherwise is just coping. AI now is just helping, but it'll become more and more robust to the point less and less devs will be needed, and people will have to be laid off. Wow. So he's going to completely on the other side.
yeah.
He says disclaimer: been coding commercially for 26 years. What do
Running
you
my
think
own
about
software
this?
development company for the past 13. So it's guys like this that like I really am interested in their opinion because it's easy for me to have the opposite opinion because I have for a long time. It's like, and it's just that like you're underestimating intelligence, you're underestimating how difficult problem solving is, especially in these complex systems of software. Like there's no way. But then all the guys that are working on big AI, they think the opposite. And then you meet guys like this. And so, I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm still exploring the topic and I don't have my mind made up, but I'm like, hey, I'm a dev. This is my skill set. Like, I know I'll be able to continue to build my own stuff, but am I going to be able to get paid for my skill set?
Yeah, I would love to like put my own metaphor and like experience behind trying to give you a summarization of how I think this is, you know, parallel to what I've experienced. But in reality, I think AI is just this whole new beast that we don't even know. Like this, I'm not going to say he's right or wrong because I don't even know if that's even going to be Yeah, I mean, when me and Keon used to talk about this in the early days, remember we used to talk about the AI and the painting stuff and the artist stuff, like, and I used to be, and I used to be on the completely other side of it. You know, I want to say that statement to still be true, but at this point, how fast it's going, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's getting really scary out there as far as like what it can do, because it's only a matter of time. Because if it could just start, like, if I could just download my brain and it can just create whatever I want, then it's literally like my brain creating it, right? It's kind of like the workshop that Marcus did, where he's like, it's more about is inference the right word? Where it's more literally about the data that it has in and where it's taking it from. That's really going to be the culminating factor in a lot of this. Like,
yeah, but it's also like, it's worth saying that, I mean, and this isn't my opinion, this is the nature of this big data and of like these language learning models. They're built to be mid. They're built to be the smartest mid, general person ever. And so it's always like, there's always room for great art, for great engineering, for great creation. And I don't think that AI is coming after that anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, looking over at like Midjourney is the perfect example. Like, it's amazing what you can, art-wise, what you can make on Midjourney. And it far surpasses what I thought where we would be by this year. So I've been proven wrong a few times, and that makes me have a more open mind. I
do think you're going to need the tastemakers and the curators, though, for this. And I think you're going to need to have somebody that can look at this, or at least the AI stuff. And it's going to have to be able to judge it as whether it's actually, I don't even know if that's just a cocky thing to say, but I just think it's, no, but but like, I mean, can AI do that? You think? Can AI go through the curation and all that kind of stuff? Not yet, right?
You could train it too.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah, taste is something that's you can develop yourself, but it's something that you can imbue. In a data set, but
yeah,
I mean, it's interesting, and I like that everyone kind of jumped out and had their own opinions. I think people are passionate about this topic, and I think that us really discussing it, like, we're just at the beginning, and this is going to be something that's going to be reoccurring as the new tool and the new model comes out, and I think it's going to be a whole lot of nothing until maybe it's something big, right? I mean, I guess gradually then suddenly.
To me, the AI stuff has actually surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be that much more interesting than Nostr. I was really bullish on Nostr. I still am, but I thought Nostr was going to be the thing that got us to the thing. But now I'm like starting to feel like AI is just far more interesting, as far as like the different things that can come from it. I'm just far more interested in AI stuff these days. This is a great post.
I'm not. AI is a distraction, even though I'm posting about it.
Like, we went to that AI meetup thing across the street.
And you said it was terrible.
It was terrible, but I think it's just like you don't have captivating people yet in the space, at least locally. We need a Sam Altman. We don't have that here.
All the captivating people in AI, you look into their eyes and they're dead. They have no soul. You can literally see through their eyes into the universe, and it's just void.
It's just void.
And I'm like, what's up with that, man?
Keon,
you look at a Bitcoiner's eyes, straight fire.
Keon, what do you think, Keon?
Here, Thank you, Austin.
Yeah, thanks for that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is. I think Austin's critique of these AI systems being mid or being trained to be mid is spot on. I don't think it'll always be that way, because you can imagine something like a Claude 3 being trained exclusively on some subset of knowledge, and as much of that knowledge as possible, and then they're an expert in that knowledge. So rather than hire, say, a front-end JavaScript engineer or a Rust developer who specializes in maybe like file systems of some kind, some AI company develops these very focused AI agents or whatever that do these things, and you instead run one of them or pay a service for one of them. So I think it could, maybe they're not always mid.
I think the automation stuff is what's really interesting for me. I think like 2 years ago, you could say you would need three or four people, in a company, I think now it's safe to say you could literally just run off of like one or two people for most of this stuff, especially if you can leverage like AI in a responsible, efficient way. I definitely see that. And I only think that's just going to get better and better and better with automation, like kind of what Cascader's doing, where it's just like saves you even more time by connecting all these things. But I don't know, man. I feel like AI has definitely helped me with a lot of stuff. I'm far more efficient now than I would have been. Dude, it used to take me hours just to do like one design or something. I remember how long it take me, and now it's just a lot more efficient. So
another thing that Austin said that I found interesting was that AI is kind of lagging because their like training data is lagging whatever's like invented and being out there. It needs to wait until there's enough material that humans have produced to train itself on so that it can like more or less replicate what humans are saying. So like until these systems are actually inventing their own things, humans will always be like the tip of the spear in terms of knowledge. And that was something that was clear to me as a result of what Austin was saying. I don't know. I think I also don't think, I don't take the doomer point of view on AI. I don't think it's going to get rid of jobs.
I think it's easy to see the doomer point of view, especially with the inference stuff. KR posted a post. Let me see if I can find it. Did you see that one he posted?
No, I don't think so. You're in devs. You need
I need to jump out of there.
Switch to home.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
let me see if I can find it.
My point of view on this is that what were we saying actually? I totally lost.
You're seeing what Austin had in there was I'm trying to find it.
Oh, the doomer point of view. I don't believe it'll like replace all jobs or anything like that. I think it'll be a lot like the computer, and it'll instead displace instead of replace. And so we'll get as more people who are functioning as the tip of the spear, because regardless, there will always be something.
Yeah,
something else can't do. There is not an all-encompassing thing that does everything, and well, unless it's like an actual human replacement in 100% of the ways. But
so KR had a really interesting post over the weekend, and I thought this was fascinating. He said, "Which company has the most valuable AI training data?" And he was referencing Reddit and how it earned $60 million from its non-exclusive access to train AI models. And the more you start kind of playing this out, Keon, it got me thinking like this. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but but I had been thinking about this a lot. So, and I think this is where like the inference-driven part of that, and I think it's especially huge for just most companies now. And then what's interesting is if from a real-world, like brick-and-mortar store, whatever you want to call that, it's going to be more optimized for more surveillance, because this is where the inference is going to come for that particular brick and mortar store. And then all that can be packaged in a way that could be, you're seeing kind of China doing that already. And I referenced an article, but like, I think this is kind of the stuff that's the really interesting thing, is just like, it's almost like we're feeding the AI at this point.
Well, you can imagine people getting
optimized
paid
for that
put a camera in their home to watch them around their house so that it's training data for something, or strap a camera onto their car. I mean, they're already doing this, but and they're not getting paid for it. The companies are just taking the data and reselling it. Like speaking of like Reddit's deal, I don't see the data that Stacker News has as Stacker News' data.
Not yet.
So
yeah, and
I don't plan on taking that point of view. I think that's actually a disturbing point of view, because I don't think it's mine. I think it's the person that the author, the producer of it.
You're talking about this right here. So this came from Reuters. Reddit in AI content licensing deal with Google. Social media platform Reddit has struck a deal with Google, make its content available for training the search engine. And so this is something that I guess the New York Times sued OpenAI for, with similar things. It looks like Google's taken the route of actually paying for that data. So there's that. I think it's all fascinating. I think the clearly obvious thing is it's definitely going to feed the beast. Like, it's definitely going to keep, that's just going to keep occurring. I think it's going to be more of this, just more surveillance. I think that's just a natural occurrence of having AI wanting more. And I don't know. That's the dark side when you start thinking about it. That's the dark side of it. Doesn't mean doesn't mean that you can't fight back and put things in place to keep from that. But I mean, it's kind of like toll roads, right? Like somebody's making $1 bazillion from toll roads, and that's not right.
Yeah, there was a guy, I saw a video from TikTok of a guy who showed his like laundromat. He's like counting his laundromat winnings is like for the month, and it was like tens of thousands of dollars from operating a laundromat. But yeah, there's always someone. I just don't think. I think the data selling is stupid, and it will always be at the expense of
The users.
Yeah, and I think that's never going to be morally okay, unless people are like consciously opting in and getting paid for it. And even then, it's dystopian. So
Yeah.
I just think it's great. I mean, Reddit has nothing else to sell except the data.
Aren't they owned by Condé Nast? Condé Nast? Are they owned by Condé Nast?
They went. Condé Nast sold them off, and I think maybe to private equity or something, and then were taken back. I think the founders came back. I don't actually know, but they, that basically. I mean, all of these Web 2.0 companies, their entire business is based around your data is not yours, it's ours now, because we're giving you the service for free. So now you're paying us with your data, and we're removing your privacy, and that's just what that's the trade you just made with us without you knowing it.
Yeah. Well, thank God we got Bitcoiners out there on the front line. Should be interesting.
Pew pew.
Let's jump into the top stackers. Where am I going? Yeah, top stackers of the week, Keon. What do we got here? Just a bunch of people hiding.
Mostly people hiding. Looks like Undisciplined has climbed the ranks. We have Siggy, who is on the lam. He's on the run for retirement. He's on a cruise, and so he's a little less active than we're used to him being. So some stackers might be able to dethrone him. He's one of those stackers in hiding. We don't know which one, but people are coming up. We look at Bell Curve up there. That's a new NIM.
Oh, look, Alex made it early. Look at that. He got in there.
Kaboom Reps Alex. He's been writing some content on Stacker News. Scoresby climbing the ranks, who was previously sort of a quiet stacker. Now writing bangers.
There you go.
He's ahead of David W.
Oh wow.
Scores is a bit of a sleeper.
I don't know. I've known the talent of Scoresby for a while now, Keon.
I knew he was a talented artist, but I did not know
Talented writer too.
A multitudinal man.
We got what else we got? Oh yeah, we got the most boring segment in Bitcoin. It's even got more and more boring as the weeks is going on. I don't know why we do this thing anymore. We should just skip
because people love it because it's not the most
basically the KR segment now at this point.
I mean, unseating KR will likely.
There you go. Good luck, Orthworm.
Rarely happen. But yeah, Orthworm's still in fourth place. Not lost his place, unlike Ben Carmen, who rest in peace.
Wow.
His cowboy
hey,
hat.
take it easy.
I don't know, got swept up in
it easy.
in a storm.
Take it easy.
Hey
man.
I don't know what happened. Him and the Mutiny team.
No, whoa, calm down. What are you doing? Calm down, Keon.
They set sail. They tried to be Christopher Columbus of like the United States, but they just went right back.
See, this is why this show just gets us in trouble more than it actually helps.
Anyway, but the rankings seem to be pretty stable. People are really holding on, clutching those cowboy hats, unlike the Mutiny team.
Most boring segment in Bitcoin.
I mean, Carr's just never seen himself on the list, so
dude, I'm on this list. You want to prove this? Look at this. I'm all the way down here. Hang on. We'll find me.
There you go. 50. Not even the top 50.
Where am I in the top 50?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, where am I?
You're
Did
50th.
you see me?
You're 50th.
Oh, there you go. Boom.
Yeah. You're like Puerto Rico.
Maybe you know what maybe we just turned it to a car segment, car versus rook segment. I mean, you know what? That's what the segment is. Stackers, I'm going all the way. Every time you see me out there, just remind me, hey, cars are running up the chain from 50 on. Come on. Hey, we got a new person entered it.
We'll see. You almost have a profitable territory. Yeah, you're in 50th
It's not me.
place
It's
with the
Club
co-
Labs territory. I don't have profitable territory. I just contribute to it all the time. Look, 10 days. There you go.
I mean, that's pretty low, to be honest.
It's pretty good. Cool. Let's jump into Million Sat Madness. Million Sat Madness. Keon. Million Sat Madness is going on. What is Million Sat Madness again for the people listening at home because they probably haven't heard about it?
Million Sat Madness is like it's like March Madness, although we can't call it that for reasons, but
legal reasons,
legal ones.
So you call it Million Sat Madness?
We call it Million Sat,
and that
Madness.
was okay.
No association with the NBA at all.
Oh,
except where core is concerned. But
that's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, we have the
9 days
leaderboard
left
here. There's 64. Like
this. Who are all these people?
Other game that happens.
Scoresby probably in here, right? Oh no, Scoresby's down here.
Scoresby isn't hidden.
Oh wow, so this is probably like
there's a top
Siggy, 4. Rook, right? You.
We're out of the. Stanker
you guys are out of there.
Stanker News is not considered in this ranking at all.
So Rook, you, and EK are out of the running.
Yep, all the Stanker News accounts are not eligible for.
Well, who's in the top then?
4 people hiding. Who could they be?
Could they be? I don't know.
Maybe
David
Ben's
W.
Up there.
David W's top 5. Darth Coin number 7. Scoresby number 9. Darth Coin slipped, I think. Was he top 5 last week?
He goes up and down. It depends. Yeah.
This is where he needs to be more toxic. He'll go back up. Yeah.
Well, according to you, it's easy. His form. You figured out his formula.
Yeah. Let's see where I'm at. I think I figured it out. Let me see. Where am I at? Am I? I'm not in there anymore.
Yeah, just keep scrolling.
Wow, I'm not in there. That sucks. Man, I put. Oh, there I go. 43.
Okay.
Look at that.
All right, you have a nice sweet
man.
payout coming out.
Catch up to Webster.
Oh wow,
go.
Max!
Look at that.
Yeah.
Blockchain boot. Oh, the Wild Hustle.
Oh yeah.
I always enjoy seeing a Wild Hustle comment.
Yeah, it's always got that positive energy.
Yeah. Bitcoin is the future also as well.
117 who runs.
So
the
are you
UFO
HN?
territory.
Who's HN?
That
is
is
a stacker.
That is Exius's bot.
Oh really?
Yeah, look at Exius's bot. It's somehow in the 21st
So he's
position.
made so much. Wow.
Just from, it looks at the top, it grabs the top Hacker News story,
And it brings it to Stacker News.
and it reposts it on Stacker
So somebody
News
could do that for.
another website that they like,
Wow.
and potentially make money or
There you
lose
go.
money because the bots still have to pay. Like,
So he has a bot paying.
the bot pays.
Does it ever go crazy and then?
Sometimes it loses money,
Oh wow.
but sometimes it gains money. And he wrote a post a few weeks ago where he like broke it down, like
What he makes.
which posts perform well.
Oh wow, interesting.
And so he's like doing it, but it's like, he's created like an economic agent on Stacker News, which is kind of cool.
Well, 4.3 billion sats is going to be distributed in rewards. That's happening next Sunday, I think. So next time we do this show, we have 2 days left. Snackers, get on it. I don't know how you win this thing, but
You gotta really hustle now.
yeah.
It's getting towards the end. You gotta write some banger posts. You gotta upvote them all.
Ship stuff.
Maybe do that expose on Swan.
Oh, yeah. Do the expose on both those things, whatever those 2 were.
I said Swan. I said
Oh, this one. What was the other one though? There was 2. There was that one, the shipping liner thing. So the other one.
There's no shipping line.
Anyway, yeah. Do the research, Stackers. I think that's it. We got anything else? I think that's it, right? Oh yeah. Let me read the zaps. What are you doing this weekend?
Comments. What am I doing? I'll probably be working.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set up my home node, set up Mutiny finally on
Nice.
on my phone.
Yeah, get Mutiny running. It's a good app, or it's a good.
While
wallet.
on-chain fees are low, it's probably a good idea to get some channels open from it.
Got PS. He said from episode 110. Thank you, gentlemen. You're welcome. We got Snacker News. Let's go here. Oh wow, we got a lot to catch up on. We got Blockchain Boog said Zap. That's from 109. Zap, I got a chance to stay in the top 64. That you did. Y'all said rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Coob's cat. And then from last week's episode, it says Zap. Good discussion about DZ. You really enjoyed that discussion about DZ. What did we talk about DZ?
DZ did an AMA.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last week.
Oh, is going from ordinals to
Somebody else told me that too.
Lower liquidity
this week about how it was a good discussion about it.
Oh, good.
Dude,
I don't even remember what we said.
Neither do I.
I mean, you had 4. I think the screen counter of your drinks was like 5. Or something.
Yeah, I'm probably more profound when I have a couple beers in.
No, you're not.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Well, anyways.
Yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
I just got to get a lot of work done. But I'll probably just do it from home. Really just want a couple days. I got my place looking all clean now. Washed a lot of clothes. Been using the projector key on. Like, do you use projector or do you use a TV?
Oh, I use a TV, but I want a projector.
Dude, it's nice. Like, it's a way bigger screen. You're just looking at light as opposed to just looking at like a black mirror. I was talking about it on the pod with Ryan. I'll be releasing this weekend.
Ryan,
he's a musician.
Okay, Ryan the musician.
Yeah, he's on Wavelake. But yeah, there's something about just watching the watching a projection of light. It's probably, I would imagine, probably like subliminally. That's why like people enjoy theaters more, is because you're not staring into just like a dark screen that's
something emitting.
Yeah, emitting. Yeah. As opposed to this is just like projecting out. And I noticed like able to like watch longer TV, I guess. Or I'm watching movies, but
what about during the day? How's your projector during
it's fine
day?
As long as you have just like
blackout curtains.
Yeah, even if you turn on like a lamp or two, like you can still see it.
That's my only thing is like when they get really good, TVs are dead. Like I believe that.
What do you mean, the projector?
Yeah, like what I want is like a tiny little projector, like the size of like an Apple TV or something. And
they make those now.
I know they make tiny ones, but they're just no good. They just don't project enough light to compete with like outside sources of light.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
No, so like I have a pretty good setup because it like just shoots out light. It's like connected to a Roku and it does that. And then I connect it to my sound system. So just like, it's perfect. Sounds like a really cool, because it's a huge screen. You're talking about like 100 square inches, whatever.
Plus we'll all have like those Apple Vision. We'll all have like VR.
I was using that this week. Somebody came in the lab and was showing me the Apple Vision goggles or whatever, and I was playing around with it. It's very tempting.
That's what I mean. You stumbled in my office. You're like, I'm a changed man.
It's too heavy though.
It won't be that way forever. It'll be like, a pair of Ray-Bans or something.
That'll be cool, but I don't know, man. I feel like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
it's a dark turn.
I mean, it's not so much. I mean, remember I was telling you like when I had the vision goggles on, whatever. Like this reality looked worse when you took them off. It actually looked better.
That's how they're gonna get you, dude.
But like it looked better in that metaverse thing. It like you put them on, and the lab even looked like way different. It looked the same, but it was just like more polished. It was like a filter. It was like, wow, this looks cool.
Your whole life will have a filter on it.
Yeah.
That's that. I mean, that's pretty crazy. People will do that. That's what people want. They want the fake version.
The fake version of life. Well, post Bitcoin ETF, anything's possible, Keon.
Tie it up.
All right, that's what I got this week. Stackers, you go out there, make those exposés, and create life. I don't know, Keon. What do you think?
Create life. What are you telling them?
Plant a tree, like.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Save a goldfish.
You're like, hit the bars.
Create life. No. Come on, get your mind out together. Go create life, Stackers.
Okay.
What do you got?